the boy who makes his own urban legends. At Detroit, United States of America surveillance camera, Detroit A02. As Death Lolita walked into the mansion, she paused on the porch, smiled, then kicked the head of the owner like a football. The head flew and ricocheted off the surveillance camera. The camera fell to the ground. Death Lolita picked it up and stared into the lens. She laughed. Inside the control room, an officer asked, "How's the picture?" His colleague replied, "It's pitch black. Oh my goodness, we should be okay," as he pretended to know how to operate a computer. Suddenly, his head stretched unnaturally. The other officer grabbed his radio and shouted, "Something unusual has occurred. Is anyone there? The Death Lolita is not on the Kisaragi train. The Mobius strip did not work. Hello." Suddenly, the first officer touched his shoulder and said, "Huh." He leaned closer and asked, "Did you see me?" The remaining officer trembled in fear, sweat pouring down his face. He muttered, "Help, help." A few moments later, Holt said, "There is no way a Mobius strip can fail." Cotton replied, "Maybe it is not the Mobius strip that failed." Holt fell silent. Simon asked, "Minister, what does this mean? Are you saying that Death Lolita has completed the Kisaragi train and can freely control it?" Incoming reports, an officer reported. Death Lolita appeared in the Far East. 5 death supervisors are dead. Death Lolita appeared in Thailand. 3 death supervisors down. Simon, shocked, listened to the report on his phone. The voice continued, "Death Lolita appears in..." Section Chief Kang Ping said, "It's the Kisaragi train. Something has happened to the Kisaragi train." An elder trembled in fear and asked, "You mean the Kisaragi train has thoughts?" The officer on the phone continued, "Back at the deputy department. The Kisaragi train has indeed stopped running." Simon clicked his tongue and said, "Tisk," Holt commented. "This strange supervisor is naturally a nemesis. I think the most important matter now is doing our best to restrict Death Lolita." Cotton added, "Yes. Judging by Death Lolita appearing in major cities and carrying out massacres, she has already merged with the rules. If she is not restricted, supervisors around the world will suffer. Anyone who sees her will die. Apart from this, there are no exact rules, no exceptions. The threat is spreading worldwide, which inevitably makes people think of..." Section Chief Kang Ping said, "It is time for the ghost to emerge." Chief Ching Ji replied, "Got it." Lin Yao listened from a distance silently, then opened his eyes, now glowing green like a cat's. A few moments later, Yuan Shinji landed on top of the Kisaragi train. The train spoke, "Master, why are you here? Have you found a way to get me out?" Yuan Shinji answered, "Do not be in a hurry. It will take some time." He sat down and continued, "Let me ask you first, why did you stop the train? The mysterious agency's protocol should not allow you to stop driving." The Kisaragi train replied, "No. Did you not say I was trapped by the Mobius strip? Since there was no way to drive out, I stopped." Yuan Shinji sweated silently. The train laughed. Yuan Shinji thought to himself, it was such a simple reason that the special department got so anxious they asked me to come forward. Besides Death Lolita, what else strange got off the train? For now, get the train moving again. Can you get them all back on board? The train said. According to surveillance, in addition to Death Lolita, 3 other train attendants got off the train. As for getting back on, Death Lolita is beyond my jurisdiction now. I no longer hold the contract. Yuan Shinji whispered, "This is happening so soon? What rules has she merged with?" As the Kisaragi train resumed movement, Yuan Shinji vanished. Inside the train cab, Yuan Shinji looked at the monitor and asked, "Have you collected any information about Death Lolita?" Kisaragi train said, "Very little. Although the recruitment of train conductors requires strange qualifications, it is impossible to get to the bottom of it." Yuan Shinji asked, "Who did you learn this from?" Yuan Shinji thought to himself, according to the intranet search engine urgently provided by the think tank, it is known that although there is a record of Death Lolita, she appeared half a month before the birth of the Kisaragi train. The current rule is, anyone with spiritual power will die if they are noticed by Death Lolita and look into her eyes. According to ancient records in this world, the overseers differ from ordinary people. In addition to the forces collectively known as life force and death force within the body, there is also an extremely domineering spiritual energy. The black and white of Death Lolita represent the yin and yang of life and death. The spiritual energy in the monitor's body broke the balance between life and death and became extremely eye-catching to Death Lolita. But what I do not understand is that Hong Yin once successfully escaped from a place very close to Death Lolita. Why is this? Could it be that? I might have guessed it. Kisaragi train asked, "What do you want to do?" "Do you need my help?" Yuan Shinji replied. There is no need. I think I need to have a rules clash between myself and this overseer killer. A few hours later, on the plane Yuan, Shinji looked outside and thought to himself, as I expected, the special department contacted me quickly and arranged an experiment with Death Lolita. In fact, I was not unprepared for this experiment. The International Special Department is quite interesting, but I did not dare to test it too much and kept a low profile. They even said that if I could not solve the problem, they would find a way to solve it themselves, as if they did not dare to bother me. As an international authoritative organization among the strange departments of countries around the world, the purpose of the International Special Section is to maintain balance, security, and cooperation among nations. When humanity faces the greatest strange threats, they aim to resolve various disputes or problems between countries, and ease or even stop conflicts between people with psychic powers. The International Special Division values my ability so much and takes such a respectful attitude. They also show strong dissatisfaction with the mysterious bureau. I do not know what Kang Ping and Aokiji talked about. It is time to move on from merely collecting legend points and writing urban legends, then continuing the cycle. There are bigger secrets behind these people. A secret greater than God. As Yuan Shinji stood up, Blonde Officer said, Mr. Ghost, here we are. Yuan Shinji exited the plane. He asked Blonde Officer, this is... Blonde Officer said, let me introduce you. As Yuan Shinji arrived at the Special Science Experimental Base, Blonde Officer continued, this is a large experimental base of the International Special Department, and all newly acquired rule items will be tested and utilized here. According to our judgment, your spiritual power is strong enough to attract Death Lolita first. As she fixed her glasses, she took something from her pocket and said, just in case, please inject your spiritual power into the stone when your power bursts out, to ensure that Death Lolita will be drawn here. Yuan Shinji said, well then, you may leave for now. Blonde Officer said, the special section will monitor this experiment in real time, including the heads and key personnel of the International Special Section and other countries' strange departments. As Yuan Shinji silently looked around, Blonde Officer said, well, Mr. Ghost, I will not bother you anymore. A few moments later, Yuan Shinji smirked and said, let us begin. He crushed the stone with his bare hands, creating a powerful dark energy around him. Holt and Lin Yao were shocked as Yuan Shinji grew serious. Death Lolita suddenly opened her eyes and appeared in front of Yuan Shinji. Yuan Shinji's heart began to glow as he prepared. Little eyes Xiaoyan suddenly appeared around his body. Yuan Shinji thought to himself, this is... Death Lolita looked at Yuan Shinji and attacked him multiple times. Little eyes Xiaoyan cried out, Mother! 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 Xiao Ai suddenly appeared, her pendant chiming, and said from the underworld, Lord, you have made your choice. Simon in the control room said, what happened? Why is the surveillance broken? Is it Mr. Ghost or Death Lolita? Section Chief Kang Ping said, it is not Mr. Ghost. Since he gave us his word, he would not destroy it on purpose. As for Death Lolita, Cotton said, no problem. Just switch to military satellite observation. Lin Yao said, now it seems that Mr. Ghost is no match for Death Lolita. After he is resurrected, he probably will not be willing to cooperate with us, right? As smoke rose from the blast where Yuan Shinji stood, Death Lolita walked toward the crater and held Yuan Shinji's neck, saying, hee hee. She sniffed Yuan Shinji, then smiled and held his face. The notebook displayed, the rules of gaze from the gap complement the rules of bizarre heart, automatic absorption. Suddenly, little eyes Xiaoyan absorbed Death Lolita. Yuan Shinji's eyes changed. He had absorbed Death Lolita completely. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to help me grow my channel. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to leave a comment below. I love hearing from you. Let's keep the conversation going and get those analytics buzzing. Until next time, take care.